Monday. I'm Kris Foate. This is Monday Morning Jolt. Let's get started. Shirona?
Good morning. Today we have Crook. I have known Craig for about 12 years now. He has done many things. Now he runs the TQM, and I have known when Craig was doing sales, and to have a name like Crook and do sales was not a fun experience. But
people remember it.
But
That's right.
but
Politics, sales. We had to do one or the other.
but he used it in a very positive manner. At that time, I was so impressed, and I thought, like 10 years ago or something, one day I need to interview this guy, right? So finally, it has come, and he also brand himself as Curious Craig, and it's pretty wonderful the way that how he does it. Tell us more about TQM and what do you do, what
Sure.
kind of things that you're doing these days. Tell our audience.
I think I have to explain Curious Craig first. You know, everybody was looking for these celebrity profiles on Facebook, and I thought, well, I don't know. So I thought, Curious Craig, you know, Curious George, Curious Craig. I thought that's my persona. So I'm passionate about learning. We love to learn. Actually, the TQM network, it really embodies professional development. So I wasn't much of a student. I did well in school, but really I've always loved learning. And so TQM is an opportunity to take and learn best practices for the community. So we work with people like the city of Fort Wayne and Parkview and Lutheran hospitals. We work with lots of different small businesses, large businesses, and medium-sized businesses, organizations, I should say, because we've worked with nonprofits like the American Red Cross as well. Really, the goal is to help them get better at whatever they do. We've used process improvement. We've used communication skills. We do all sorts of training, conferences, and workshops. So Curious Craig and TQM are very aligned in that we're both all very passionately curious. The people who come are passionate learners.
Oh, and one other thing is TQM sponsors quite a few events, local events such as social media and some other events. I mean, every month you guys have something going for the community.
Yes, correct. We generally have 3, sometimes 4 events a month.
Wow, I didn't
where
know
we're
that.
focused on professional development, and social media is something that's really of interest right now. People using stuff like this, where it used to be you'd have a $1 million studio, and really now for a couple $1,000, you can put in a high-end studio with HD cameras and all that.
This is
How
a
do you
$1 million
leverage that?
studio.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't want to, you know, really good.
At
Wow.
Friendly Fox.
At
I love
Friendly
those.
So
Since this show is Monday Morning Jolt, we want to know how you start your Mondays.
caffeine at the Friendly Fox.
What do you think is great about Monday? What do you think is different about Monday and really great about it versus any other day, for example?
Or is it just another day?
Well, you know, every day is pretty exciting, really. I like getting up in the morning, and because really, the older I get, the more I have refined who I am and what my brand is and my passion is. And so the whole Curious Craig, I mean, that really is me. I enjoy getting up in the morning, getting to do what I was just telling somebody, I was like, I'm not sleeping a lot, but I'm having the time of my life. You know, I'm just having a lot of fun. You know, I'm in the thick of learning things that are so relevant to people right now. That my role is to be really wide, you know, to know a lot of things about a lot of things. So I'm not real deep on a lot of topics. There's areas where I am real deep. But the essence is I get to keep learning all these different things and then try to bring those to businesses and help them achieve better impact through process, through marketing, through communication, whatever skill set we can bring to help them. So it's a fascinating place to be, and it's a lot of fun.
So how do you jumpstart your week? How do you get it going?
Jumpstart. That's a great segue. We actually have a program. We have a community built around entrepreneurs. I'm an entrepreneur. I love entrepreneurial type stuff, and I've never been able to figure out, okay, how do we actually monetize? And I finally said, heck with it. We don't really have a way to monetize, but we need to get the small entrepreneurial community together. Because I've got a lot of friends who fit that category, and so we've started a community called Jumpstart 260. Kind of focused on helping small businesses in the area get through some of the issues. And there's some great resources. We're not trying to come in and stake a claim where people are. What we're thinking is there's stuff that needs to happen, and there's a lot of people that need to be reached. There's not any specific target demographic. We're just saying, how do we bring those people together in the community? And a lot of the things that will happen on its own, not through necessarily even the programmatic pieces. But we are bringing in the experts to talk, and that's our traditional pieces, to bring people together around learning.
One of the other things that I always notice, Craig, is you are always in a joyous mood. Is this because you're a family man, or what kind of advice can you give other people to get to that stage?
Well, I think finding out who you are and finding your passions is a big piece. Is realizing what your time, talent, and treasures are all about. I'm deeply religious person. I don't like to use that word religious because what does that mean? But I'm a Christ follower. So to me, a lot of my joy comes from knowing that things are taken care of. You know, I don't have to open doors. I'm going to work my butt off, like it depends on me, but ultimately I'm not in control. And so I actually take a great deal of comfort from that. And so even in the lulls as the economy does whatever it does, I know I'm always provided for, sometimes more generously than other times. And so that's where my real peace and joy comes from. But to me, the tangible, physical way is to say, okay, some of those things that are inside of me, those dreams, those passions, to live those out, that is definitely where a lot of my joy comes from, is the living out of those things that I feel called to be, and how I'm called to make a difference and impact the world through best practices and learning.
So, do you have a philosophy? You know, if you could sum up who you are and how you relate in the world, what is your philosophy?
There is
In one word.
when I was a
or less,
kid, one word.
No.
I'm curious. One word. There used to be a commercial. BASF had this commercial that says, "We don't make things, we make them better." That's probably me. You know, I'm very curious, and curious for a reason. You know, Albert Einstein, I think, says, you know, I'm nothing but passionately curious. I love that because it's like, that's me. But the tangible, the way that really makes a difference is you take that and you say, okay, social media is Twitter. What is Twitter? What the heck is it? How do I tangibly use that in a way? And you know, to me, the marketing potential of listening to what my customers are saying and things is just phenomenal with social media. So how do we take that stuff and then figure out how to make impact through the thing?
Well, if you could have one superpower.
Flying.
Flying?
Just fly.
I thought you wanted to, stretch the day from 24 to 48 hours or something.
No, I got plenty of hours in the day.
Flying?
Yeah, honestly, there's no relevant to, besides just that freedom. I mean, wouldn't that be amazing to be able just to go up there with the birds and fly and, okay, but you weren't really looking for that. You were looking for probably something more like, how do you change the world?
No.
Superpower is all I want to know. Which
Yeah.
one would you want?
Right.
Flying is perfectly fine.
Yeah. So I might have to get my pilot's hat. It's probably as close as I'll get to truly flying.
And now tell us something about you that would surprise even those who know you very, very well.
Something about me.
We like your deep, dark secrets. So
Yeah, on camera.
yes, because that's what people are going to view in.
Right, absolutely. I am not a Hoosier. I was born in Michigan, but I've kind of adopted Indiana as my home state.
How long have you been here?
I moved here in Indiana when I was 5, and moved to Fort Wayne when I was 21.
Craig, how do people get hold of you to do business with you?
Absolutely. You can find me, Google me, Craig D. Crook on Twitter. You can get us on our Facebook page, TQM Network, if you look for it, tqmnet.com. My email address is craig@tqmnet.com. What else? Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, just look for Craig D. Crook. Use the D, Craig D. Crook, get it, Craig D. Right, so, if you just Google me, hopefully you find me. I'm pretty ubiquitous. I try to make myself well-known online, and my life is somewhat of an open book.
So we would like to say thank you to Craig.
Yes, thank you.
And coming and patiently waiting today because we were running a little bit late on production today. Also want to thank you for listening to our show today. This is Monday Morning Jolt. Use it.